Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever time you're watching this. I much appreciate it. Welcome back to more Warhammer 40k Darktide. Uh, the update is in 6 days. Sorry, I just woke up. Ugh. Update's in 6 days, and I'm very excited. For the Ogryn changes, for not so much the Havoc changes, I read them. It's okay. The issue with Havoc is that the issue is as long as Emperor's Fading Light is a thing, it's gonna be it's just gonna be like really bland. And I don't mean that as like a whoops. I don't mean that as like a skill issue. It's just like there's only so much you can do with Emperor's Fading Light. I don't know why I'm permanently frowning. This is not what I wanted to do, but oh, there we go. But yeah, it's yeah. But I'm interested to see what on the Chaos Waste stuff is going to be, so that's going to be fun. But the build we are running today is the Carsolus Mach 2 pickaxe with a heavy with their Cork Mach 2 heavy stubber. And then for the talents, we have Heavyweight, Smash 'em, Furious, Best Defense, Big Friendly Rock, Slam, Indomitable, Stomping Boots, Pulverize, Crunch, Batter, Bonebreaker's Aura, Delight and Destruction, Dominate, Unstoppable Momentum, Get Stuck In, Bruiser, No Pushover, Feel No Pain, Pain Outburst, and the strongest. That is the build. Let's get into a game, shall we? Alrighty, and we're in. So the Trump administration just released the JFK files, and it's the same thing the Biden administration released like 3 years ago. It's the weirdest like thing of like, oh my God, the CIA did it, the Jews did it, some alien space laser did it. See, I believe his head just did that. But like, it's very funny how like the JFK assassination is just the biggest nothing burger to ever nothing burger. Like, it's on video. We pretty much know what happened. Now, the public doesn't know all the details, obviously, because it's the assassination of a current sitting president, or at the time a current sitting president. It is just the biggest nothing burger. And then when the 9/11 files get released, it's going to be the biggest nothing burger. And then the Epstein files, well, those were released but all redacted because, yeah, are we surprised at all? Anyway, on more important things, Assassin's Creed Shadows is rapidly reaching its release date after being I think it was delayed twice, which is like, you know, probably for the best for an Assassin's Creed game. So somehow I got a hit marker through the shield there. Like flesh hit, that is, from that angle. It was weird. Sorry. Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to get released, and it's a $70 price tag, which is already like a pretty big turnoff for me. Because I don't think any game is worth $70 ever. At least base game. If it comes with like some cool shit, then I'm like, okay, I can be convinced. However, now before I say this, let me just add a little addendum. Assassin's Creed games have had cosmetics since like Origins, or paid cosmetics I should say, but I heard that they put a battle pass in Shadows. Now I hope it's not one you have to pay for, but I'm feeling you will. And I'm just like, because I've heard all the reviews from the game I've seen have said the game is great, and if you love the classic Assassin's Creed, this is like a beautiful like return to form in a way. However, one, paid cosmetics in single player games, stupid. We can all agree. Back in my day, to get the fun cosmetics, you had to like do a bunch of challenges, or you know, buy a special edition, and you get a funny new like outfit for your assassin. Or Unity, which had just straight up you could just buy the cosmetics with in-game currency. Unity, I'll defend to the day I die. May not have been a perfect game, but by golly, was it great. And it's just like, Ubisoft, what are you doing, gang? Like, it's gotta suck to be a classic Assassin's Creed fan and then, like, see Ubisoft, like, slaughter it, you know? Now, okay, well, there's two positions. You could be a quote-unquote Ubisoft fan who's now complaining about utter woke nonsense and historical accuracy now that there's a game where you can play as a Black Samurai. Or you can be like a Ubisoft fan who hates to see the deterioration of their sort of primo game title. In exchange for capitalistic greed and shareholder value. Me, I'm of the latter, not the former. Because obviously Yasuke was an actual person and all the historians were like, yeah, nah, he was like in a crazy high position. But anyway. Now, obviously there's the accuracies, like the sort of fantastical depictions of Yasuke. We actually don't know how, or at least I don't know how much we know of his combat experience, beyond like the one big one. But obviously, you know, we're not going to sit here and say that the Assassin's Creed games are historically accurate to begin with. Because remember, you fist fight the Pope in the second one. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be getting something in my throat. I don't know if I'll be getting Shadows. It'll take a lot more convincing, unfortunately. And I think, like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 16's on the PC now or something, so if I were to purchase any big game, probably be that. Hello. There we are. I can't put down the company. You know, I saw a funny tweet that was like, white people love a gimmick rapper, and it's absolutely true. Like the funny sipping on promethazine guy. His whole gimmick is that he's like incredibly obese and he stands up during his concerts, and it's just very funny whenever you see videos of his concert and he does that. It turns to the crowd, it's literally like a mayonnaise flood. It's like, fellas, we cannot be doing this. This is not helping our look with on the cultural stage. Also, my Roomba's on, so if you hear a noise, that's that. My door's like somewhat closed, so it shouldn't come in, but oh, waiter, that's enough poxbursters, please. And, what was I gonna say? I had a whole in other news bit. Nope, I got nothing. Oh yeah, I mentioned this before, but I want to talk about it. Space Marine 3 got announced that they're working on it. Obviously no trailer or anything. And there was another game that got a long-awaited sequel, and then it immediately got another one after that, and I cannot remember it for the life of me. It's like, there was the one from like years ago, they made it, and then like a year later they made another. I want to say it was like, I don't know. I'm over here now. Ow. Jesus. I hate it here. And the name of the game's been bothering me for a bit. I don't even remember I just remember it happening. You know what I'm saying? That was weird. My gun was reloading, but there was no animation. Sipping on promethazine, I can't put down the cup. Ah! That's not my melee weapon. Teen Titans Go is an interesting phenomena of a show where there's a lot of like crass humor. I should say crass. I don't know, crass. Like potty humor, maybe. I don't know. And then randomly they explain the gold standard. I'm like, buddy. I mean, I appreciate. Pardon me. I appreciate education and cartoons and stuff, but it's very funny that they, instead of like teaching you, oh, how plants work or how the photosynthesis is, or like typical stuff that you usually gets, there's no animation going on. I broke my gun. It's like the gold standard and how to pull money out of your 401k without having to pay taxes or whatever. It's very funny. Now, my opinion on the gold standards, I'm not an economic guy. I don't know economics. Maybe it's better, maybe it's not. All I know now is that the current stock market could not be... Like, surely this isn't... We shouldn't just leave it like this, right? Surely? Like, you can't be healthy for the country to have our money be made up and fluctuate as much as it does, right? Surely? But speaking of economics, one thing I do know, sort of, is when it comes to taxes, I vaguely know how tax bracket works. I know that if you make $150K a year and you get a raise to $170K, you don't have to pay taxes on the $150K you make, but only the $175, or like the remaining $25K from your raise, I think. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's how it works, because the amount of times I've seen like posted like, oh, I denied a raise because I didn't want to pay more taxes. That might not be how it works, or it might be like not fully how it works, but I think that's like the gist, right? There's another trapper. Another beast, huh? Taxes are such a funny thing because, like, there's some people that believe that America should have no taxes, and that's stupid and wrong. And then when there's there's people who think like, oh, the rich should be taxed more, which is correct. And then there's people who think that riches shouldn't pay more taxes. It's like, why? Like, the top 1% in this country owns about like more than the bottom 50%, and in the bottom 50% pays a higher percentage in taxes than the top 1%. Now, in terms of funds, the rich obviously pay more taxes because obviously, you know, more money, higher tax bracket, you know how it goes. However, you know, it's still, the percentage-wise, they're paying less taxes than they did even in the, like, 50s and 60s. Which just is insane to me. And, like, we can heavily increase the taxes we do on the top 1%, they wouldn't even feel it, and it would be a boon for the rest of the country. Like, I think, some people propose a 90% wealth tax or something, which I'm like, that seems high, but then, like, other people are like, it's not that high, they won't feel it. I'm like, okay, whatever you say. Once again, I'm not an economist. All I know is that, logically, people who own billions and billions of dollars, one of them on a fast track to being a trillionaire, should actually pay for the most of the bottom half of the country. Like, I think, do I think everyone should pay taxes? No, absolutely not. That's stupid. One, children shouldn't pay taxes. Two, you know, but like, and also, like, when the richest guy is trying to take away your Social Security, calling it entitlements, I think we should, a normal country would, well, one, probably, like, tell that guy to shut up, and then also, like, raise taxes on the rich. But, like, if you make under, I'll say $20,000 a year, I don't think you should have to pay any income tax. Or maybe that's already how it is, but, like, if it is, it should stay that way. Once again, I'm not an economist. But, like, if you make however many billions of dollars Amazon makes a year, Jeff Bezos has, you should probably pay a lot more, right? Because you won't feel it. You're not going to feel it. Also, one thing is that this disillusioned idea that, oh, the rich people create jobs. Not really. I mean, maybe, like, Amazon does, and, like, but, like, not really. Especially, like, with, like, inheritance wealth. There's some rich people that just sit on their money and do nothing, right? They don't have, they just kind of passively take income. That's not creating jobs. That's just absorbing. And it's just like, and it's weird how seeing poor people defend billionaires, it's like, buddy, you have more in common with the homeless guy down the street than you do Jeff Bezos. Like, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, like, I'm just saying you should care more about your immediate community and less about this guy who would grind you into dust for a number go up on his stock market. If Jeff Bezos could use the blood to green the line on his market shares, he would. I mean, it's just the truth of the world that no one can be a billionaire without some incredibly unethical choices. I missed that! Oh, another example of that, like, insane defending of, like, someone who would grind you into dust is all the ICE raid stuff going on. So, if you don't know, Donnie T, not a big fan of Mexicans, and wants to deport them all. And there's been multiple reports of ICE agents detaining American citizens, U.S.-born, red-blooded Americans, because their skin is brown, and detaining them for multiple days before being forced to let them go. Now, if you are a person who is objectively correct, you're like, oh my god, that's horrible. The amount of times I see people be like, oh, well, they were let go. Buddy, what do you mean, man? They shouldn't have been... They're being racially profiled, and you're okay with it, because they, quote-unquote, got let go. Meanwhile, there's people who have not been let go. And it's like, buddy. And, like, you know, it's that moment of, like, it's you know... it's because the people are saying that are white, right? So they're not, ow, punished for my sins. They don't have to worry about it, really. So it's like, it's this, you know, I mean, once again, America has a big white supremacy problem, and it's part of it is passively ingrained into our systems. Just remember that all those black and white photos you see of white adults swearing at black children going to the no longer segregated school, they're still alive. They're still, some of them are in power. So just remember that. And if you look at ICE raids and see them as anything good, you should probably, like, take a peep in the mirror, my friend. It's like that moment of, like, oh, what radicalized you? I don't know. I was told to, like, be nice to people as a kid. And so far, it's gotten me pretty far in life, I think. And, like, I don't even think illegal immigrants should have their homes raided by ICE. The Fourth Amendment is not just for citizens, it says persons. So, you know. It's just like it's just like, it's so... Because, like, what happens, like, you know, worse comes to worse. Dictator ship comes real. And the police kick in your door because they... You know, are you gonna be okay with it then? Because, like, oh, Donald Trump did it, so it's okay. I mean, Steve Bannon definitely would. Fuck that guy. Ouch. Just like that picture of the person with the boot on their neck, and then it zooms out, and they have their hand in the boot and placing it on the neck themselves. It's like, it's kind of like that in a way, except they want the boot there, and they wish it was a real foot. Just insane to me, you know. Now, there's a chance that these people are Chinese and Russian bots, because we know that Twitter is filled with them. Like, it's not even like, oh, Twitter's filled with bots. No, Twitter is literally filled with Russian bots. There's, like, evidence of it. Ouch. It's like somewhere over there. I missed. Ow! I just want to say, that shot I made was insane. Oh, I was wondering how that shotgunner not die. It wasn't shotgun, it was a Mauler. Kind of insane how Kanye West is just kind of doing his thing, and by his thing I mean being like, I think insane. Like I generally find it hard to believe that Kanye West is like a Nazi or whatever. I'm not like trying to excuse what he's been doing, but it feels like knowing his history with like drug abuse, right? With the NOS the NOS or whatever, or nitrous or whatever. NOS is an energy drink brand, I'm pretty sure. It's just like I feel like this man is like insane, and no one's done anything about it because they think they just don't want to be associated with him, really. And also, I think it's like also people are just don't give him attention. It's kind of like a child acting out. He's just kind of having a temper tantrum in a way, so people are like, oh, just, ignore him, and he'll say Adam Sandler saved them or something, and then they'll shut the fuck up for another month or so. I missed. I missed. That was such. I thought it was going to keep running. Of course, when I think they're going to stop, they never stop. When I think they're going to run, they don't run. The AI knows. The AI knows. Oh, speaking of AI, wasn't there that game studio that wanted to make a hyper intelligent AI enemy that like recognizes your patterns or some shit? Because, like, that is an interesting idea. Don't let Hideo Miyazaki, or not Hideo Miyazaki, hey, that's the Ghibli guy. Don't let Miyazaki of the Souls franchise get his hands on it. Rip that guy. Hatred, malice. Well, that sucks. Well, there's a wall there. I hate it here. What? That hit me? Thank you. Woo. It's okay. I got the flamer. Priority target dead. There we are. There's another sniper somewhere. Woo. The last episode of the Monster Hunter Wilds playthrough goes up tomorrow. Very exciting. It's going to feel weird having to upload videos at 8 a.m. again because I had a whole, literally a whole month pre-uploaded. So everything, like all the other videos I recorded the day of or the day before for the afternoon uploads. Now, will I try to keep the afternoon uploads somewhat consistent? Maybe. Maybe we'll like... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. Ouchie. Alright, 30 minutes. That felt like a 30-minute one. That one was a bit of a... I don't want to say a bit of a slog, but it was definitely a bit slow and go for a moment there. Alright, let's see what the Emperor granted us. Got a pickaxe. Nice. Well, if you missed one of the video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Or don't. I am not your mother, but you better brush your teeth. Now have a good one. Bye-bye.